Well, good afternoon and welcome in everybody to another episode of the Coaches Show. Let me start over again. I am your host as always, David Wood, and joining me each and every Wednesday afternoon, the athletic director and head coach for our Tolar Rattlers. And that would be none other than Coach Blake Mauser. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you doing, Dave?
You know, it's a glorious day. I got up this morning and I stepped outside with the dogs and I realized it's getting cooler. Yeah. I like this. It's beginning to feel like football weather now, huh?
Yeah. No, it's been nice in the past, I would say, week or so. But this morning, definitely, there's a little bit more cool in the air at morning practices. So for sure. And I think actually might be, hopefully, knock on wood here for good here this weekend. I think another front coming through. So, but yeah, definitely enjoy the cooler weather.
So you're a married guy, so you'll appreciate this. You know, when the cooler weather comes in, it's my time of the year because it's snuggling weather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As a married man, I know you're lying. So there we go.
Yeah, I know. It's like, get off me, I'm hot. Yeah. So today, of course, is October the 15th, 2025. We are one district game in on our season, and we'll get to talking about that. But before we get into last week and this week and everything else like that, I want to start with the roundup. And, by the way, I love your guest today. We got a very, very special guest. Coaches, man, I tell you what, you're just going all out, spending all the money on the Coaches Show, getting the good guest. And we got a good one for y'all today. So let's start with the roundup, though. I know the JVs and the junior highs and the ladies volleyball squad and, of course, volleyball, all that stuff's going on. Catch us up to date with what else is going in besides the old pigskin.
Yeah, starting with actually last Wednesday after we were done, our junior high cross country finished theirs with the 8th grade boys winning district. So we're excited about those boys and competing hard and obviously winning district with. And then that district includes our basketball district. So I include Breckenridge, Eastland, Peaster, and all the other teams that we're used to, Comanche early. So super excited about those guys and very happy about the work. They would go to cross country practice in the morning and practice football in the afternoon, a lot of those boys. So it's very neat, very cool to be able to do multiple things like that. And so super proud of them. And then also had a 7th grade girl who gets 2nd overall. So really, really good year for our junior high cross country program, and our high school cross country did well as well. Did well also with the young kids, and so a bunch of young guys, so and gals. So proud of Coach Atkins and Coach Hoffman with the cross country season. Then volleyball's rolling. They had wins Friday and also had a win last night against Eastland. So kudos to Coach Terrell again. They seem to get rolling. They have a big one this Friday at Peaster. Before coming down and watch us play Dublin. So if you want to go travel up and watch some good volleyball, they'll be up at Peaster on Friday. So yeah, and then their last home game will be next Tuesday. So volleyball is kind of getting to their playoff push area. So excited for them. Sub-varsity football, I think I've hit all of them now. Sub-varsity football, junior high, 7th graders won with a great win last week. 8th graders battled. Didn't play our best, but battled and had a close loss early. And so we'll learn from those and get going. JV, we were hoping to have 2 games last week, and at the last minute we got through and having to play 1. And so that kind of is, when you practice 2 teams and all that, then try to throw everybody into 1. It's really hard, but I'm proud of our kids and coaches to kind of adapt in and be ready to go. And had another close, tough loss. So unfortunately, our JV guys have had 3 losses by literally the last play of the game. And so we'll they're working hard every day and getting better. We want to find those few plays and get some victories throughout this rest of the year.
I had the opportunity to go to the JV game and actually do the JV game this week, and that was a lot of fun, and really, really enjoyed doing that. And people can catch it on our Facebook and on our YouTube application as well. So, yeah, that JV group looked really good. And, man, it was just at the last – oh, man, that's tough. But they're getting better each and every outing, and we wish them continued success on this season. Well, let's get into it, Coach. We got our first district game of the season was last week, and, of course, the Rattlers fall to the early Longhorns and everything. Just kind of give us your assessment of our team and how we did, and how the game kind of shaped up for them.
Yeah, I think we've talked about before. Part of football is you have to learn how to play complementary football and take advantage of situations. And so if you look at the game, they came out, scored 7-0. We came down, scored 7-7. Then we get an interception and we get the ball in the 8 and we don't do anything with it. And we go backwards on a couple of run plays, pass concept where, miss didn't run the correct route, whatever it not need to be, we didn't execute what needs to be on that one. Try to hit a field goal, missed it, and then they get it. And then our defense comes out in first 2 downs, do a great job, but then they hit a fade route. So and we talk to our guys, like if we get either learning how to have a killer instinct and putting, punching through in the red zone, it changes the whole outlook of a game right then and there. Now all of a sudden they're on their heels instead of now flipping the field, and now we're having to play on our heels. But even at that point, they go down 14-14. We go down scoring 14-14. Unfortunately, had an injury, and it kind of took the air out of the team, and that happens. But we're at halftime, we're 21-14, and with the ball coming out. And so what we've got to get to our kids is, and it's just tough right now, with whether it's an injury, whether it's a misplay, we've got to move on, and we've got to learn how to get that killer instinct in and go finish drives, or our defensively ourselves, third down stops and red zone stops. We had a whole breakdown. I did a whole breakdown with it. These last few games, we're not very good in the red zone. Right now, we are 3 of 8 on chances to score in the red zone, and that's not going to cut it. And defensively, we're 1 of 11 stopping people, and that's not going to cut it. So we've got to do a better job in scoring zones. We've got to do a better job on third downs, and that's really the name of the game. And we're really working hard this week to fix and throughout the rest of the year.
Coach, you hit on it, and I talked about it. We had such great flashes, especially early in the game. Kelvin had 2 really pretty touchdown runs that he was able to get into the end zone. Excellent blocking. I looked at the one play, the second touchdown. If you go back and look at the film, man, the guard, the tackle, they had assignment blocks on that play. And see, Coach, I do pay attention. And beautiful blocking up front. And I don't know if it was Talon Pendleton or whoever was playing tight end. He also had a key block on that play. And springs him, and you get big runs like that. That execution and everything, you can't always depend on it. Unfortunately, play after play, especially with young guys.
Yeah, no, and there's reasons why in every spot of every level of football, there's a reason why people, like if you take the NFL, there's a reason why there's certain NFL players that get paid millions of dollars because they can score the ball with their hands.
Yeah.
And so it's not just like, there's an NFL guy that can just automatically run the same route and catch the same pass or carry the same ball and read the right. I mean, you need special players that can go score the ball. And, Kelvin did have 2 really good runs, and proud of him. And he a tough dude, because he's still he's still a little banged up, but he toughed it out and had 2 really big runs, and we're proud of him. And he's getting healthy. He looks a little bit more like Kelvin at old at practice today. And that gets me a little fired up as well. But it's more about him too. Like nothing, it's all about multiple things where just learning how the speed of the game goes through it. University of UT had a big win this week over Oklahoma. Why? Well, their offensive line is getting better. Everybody wants to throw it on Arch Manning, but those 5 guys that played in front of Quinn Ewers last year had over 100 plus snaps. 100 plus starts. And so now you have 5 guys who haven't any starts. So again, it's all levels of play, and it's just, again, we got to keep getting reps. We got to keep getting better. And at the same time, learning situations of when we have to take advantage of getting off the field on third downs, sustaining drives, not giving up sacks, not taking penalties, because all of those things are what's killing us right now. We did not have a single 3 and out. You think of that stuff. We did not have a single 3 and out last Friday. So what caused our drives was penalties, sacks, lack of execution at some point. So all those things are fixable, and we got to get them fixed. But, it's one of those things where we're working really hard, and we hopefully fix them and get ready for Friday.
I gotta give a big shout out. And you mentioned banged up and nicks and bruises and everything. Got to give a shout out to Caden Abrego. What a beautiful interception he had, and the run afterwards was equally as impressive. This kid's been playing on a bum ankle or knee. I don't know what it's been, but he's been playing bummed up on that leg pretty much most of the season already. And then, of course, he sustained an injury that put him out of the game. How's he doing? And talk about that play. That was a key play at a key time, and man, a big moment for him.
Yeah, the first off, the interception, that's just he's so instinctive. And again, it goes, one, if he's a really good football player, but another one, this is his 3rd year of playing varsity football, and so he's smart and he understands game plans. And so by Wednesday, if you're at practice, Was it by formation, by alignment? He's able to almost start calling out what plays are being, and so those things like that can help other players. So he's a very instinctual player. He's smart. And he's tough. Like you said, he's a tough guy that plays hard. And one thing I was really proud of him is coming along and how he was trying to lead some of the younger guys during the game and starting to see some growth and maturity that way, which is huge in our team, which it's needed. With only 5 seniors, we need juniors and sophomores also now become those vocal leaders. So so I was proud of him. And then of course on that one play, he sniffed out a screen and almost was right there to pick off his second pass, and he's just giving great effort, and he just kind of landed a little bit wrong on an ankle, and that happens, and that's unfortunately the part of the game. Of course, the referees missed a bad back in the block and picked up, well, they threw the flag and then picked up the flag. Not going to.
It was crazy.
Too much on that one, but no, and that again, you see a guy that kids look up to and plays hard, and he goes down. It's obviously something that, if for any team, it's hard to come through. You see NFL teams that see injuries to your teammates, and it takes a while, and much less when you're dealing with 14, 15, 16-year-olds that are having to play right now on Friday nights because of our situation with just our roster makeup.
How's he doing? Is he progressing pretty good?
Yeah, no, he'll be back. So I mean, he's doing great. He's Caden of old. He'll crack a joke every once in a while. If everybody kind of knows, Caden's probably laughing right now a little bit on that, but he's got great energy, and he's doing well. And no, he's Caden. He's doing a good job, and you'll definitely see him this year.
I'm not going to give a shout out to Britton because Britton is Britton, and he's always going to give you a big effort. And he did the other night, especially in some situations that nobody would want to put themselves into. And I thought he did really, really well. But I got to give a shout out to this freshman, Tanner Emery. I know that Kelvin wasn't 100%, and he goes in. He got a lot of carries the other night, and really performed really, really well, and some tough. That kid's tough.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, he's another kid that about 2 weeks ago he was scoring touchdowns on the JV game, and now just having to be due to some injuries and whatnot, he's now up and having to go. And we have faith in Tanner. He's a good and talented runner. Like you said, he's one of those guys that knows how to score the ball with his hands. And so we any chance we get the ball in his hands too, we're excited for him. And I think the fans saw glimpses of the future for sure with him. Now we got this year to keep getting him and then get him in the weight room, hopefully add a few more pounds to him, and the sky's the limit for that kid.
Yep. So if you have a restaurant, if you have a local restaurant or everything, free mashed potatoes for this guy. Let's beef him up a little bit and get him going for sure, because he's got some talent. That is for sure. The bad news is we lost. The good news is we got 4 more district games, and we're going to fight every which way. I know Toller, and I know the mindset of this crew. We're not just going to lay down. We're going to show up each and every week.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, in the coaching world, we talk about things and texting other head coaches and friends and all that type of stuff. And one thing I'm most proud of is we had both teams disappointing week. And we come back Monday as a school holiday. And what do we have? We have 100% attendance at practice. And so when that right there shows parents are invested, kids are invested, they know they need to be here. And that means the foundation's strong. Now we just got to go and make plays, and we got to go learn to continue how to play at a high level on a Friday night. That's different than a Thursday night. And just keep continuing to get better. But that was, from an AD head football coach standpoint. And again, people are talking about there's a lot of places that even win games and kids don't come to practice. And so that just tells you where the type of kids we have here, and we're going to keep working.
Now, let me ask you, I got another question here. Where is it? Yeah. Right now we've got somewhere between 26, 27 kids on the active varsity roster and everything. The JV and the 2 JV squads, there's a lot of kids on those 2 squads and everything. And since we're getting into that time of the year, do you see any additional JV call-ups possibly coming in the next few weeks?
No, right now we're pretty settled right now. We actually have 2 JV games actually set up tomorrow, so we're able to get those guys. So we'll actually break that team of there's 38, 40. There's about 40, so we'll have about a team of 18, team of 22 or so on there. So like you said, we have 67 kids in the program right now with 5 seniors, and so we got a lot of young guys playing. You looked up Friday night at one point on defense, there was a freshman, which we had a freshman lead us in tackles. So I know we talked about Tanner, but proud of Bentley Collins and what
Yes, Bentley had a great game.
Great. He led the team, and it's not great when your safety's leading the team in tackles, but at the same time, it just shows how hard he plays and puts a nose to the ball, and proud of him. And so, but we had a freshman, 7 sophomores, and 2 seniors on it at one point on the team. So I mean, it's just I told you last time I wasn't going to talk about our youth anymore, and I'm not. We have to go win. We have to go play better, and those kids.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a learning curve for those guys, and excited to continue to see their growth.
Absolutely. I'm glad to hear that, because what that means is these kids are going to get a lot more active playing time, and that will speed up their developmental process. And so when we get up into that next year, the year after, whatever, we're just going to be stronger and stronger and stronger as it goes, and that sort of thing. So I'm glad to hear that. All right. We got a special guest now. Are we going to get both of you on the screen, or are we going to get?
No,
just,
I'm going to move away, and I'm going to let Coach Humphreys and his
Hollywood.
Yeah, his flowing.
That's his
hair.
nickname.
He did cut his hair a few weeks ago, but his flowing locks will just be able to take the screen by.
Well, see, that's what I said, Coach. I give everybody nicknames. You've got Sweet Feet Murray, you got the Killer Caden Nebrego, you got the Bomber Britton Rice, and now we got the OC. That's Carson Hollywood Humphreys. That's
Hollywood.
right.
There we go.
Hollywood coming up next on the sports scene. I'm telling you what, on the Coaches Show, I'm going to go to a commercial break. Of course, we've got a great sponsor. Y'all know who they are. And we're going to run their commercials so that you guys can switch out. And we're going to talk to the OC here in just a few minutes on the Coaches Show.
Clayton Homes of Burleson is committed to helping you and your family find the manufactured home of your dreams. Come tour our fully furnished display models to see available features and floor plans. Have you dreamed of owning a home that you can customize to fit your style? Our friendly team members are experts in showing you our homes that fit your needs and your budget. We are proud to be able to offer new, energy, smart zero homes that can save you even more money in the high-quality Clayton-built home. Stop by our home center to start your home buying journey today. Conveniently located at 3275 South Burleson Boulevard, that is I-35 West at exit 30, or visit our website at ClaytonHomesBurleson.com. Clayton Homes of Burleson, proud Rattler supporter.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the Coaches Show. And, this is not Coach Mauser. This is Hollywood Humphreys, the OC for your Total Rattlers. Coach, how's it going today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing lovely. You like that nickname?
I've had worse, that's for sure. So I'll take
tell you
it.
what, now, by next year, I want to see the long flowing locks. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I want it mid back. Come on now.
Well, the problem is there's a wife involved there, so I got to get it approved through her.
All righty. I'd go with that hairstyle, but I think I'm a little too old for it. Okay, Coach. Well, let's talk about your offense. I've told Coach Mauser this several times that I just love the systems. I love the different looks. I love the adjustments that y'all do, the motions that you do, and all of that. Sometimes that's a little challenging with younger players like we have this year, isn't it?
For sure. And you probably can look at our offense these past couple of weeks, and it's been a little more toned down than maybe we did last year, and maybe we did early in the year. And large part of that is because of our youth. We have kids not only trying to learn for the first time, but trying to learn maybe new spots. Receivers that have been mainly working slot that now they're working outside, and we're trying to get running backs that are trying to learn running back and slot. And so there's a lot of moving parts right now. But this week, I think we're settling down. The young kids, like we talked about, we're not saying we're young anymore. They've played a few varsity games. They got it under their belt. They have that confidence, and we're starting to slowly get back to, what we want, and showing a little more of that creativity and throwing a little more challenges on our kids. And I think this week at practice, they have answered the bell. It's been a great week.
Tell us what you think your biggest challenges thus far this season has been on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, the youth is one thing, but mainly it's just been tying it all together at once. And what I mean by that, we've been missing parts here and there. We maybe when our O-line is starting to settle in and we're healthy there, well, then we've had a running back out. Kelvin's been out. Or, we've had receivers that have been banged up. And so the biggest challenge is we haven't really been all healthy at the same time and really, gearing up and working on all cylinders at the same time. So, game plans every week this year have been just sporadic, right? You look at week 2 and you think, oh man, we didn't have Britton. And you think back to how we game planned then. And then we got Britton back, but then it was Kelvin. And so, and that's hard on our kids too. It's hard on coaches. We got to come up with a good game plan and put our kids in a situation to win, but it's hard on kids too. Every week there's things here and there. And so I think we're getting healthy. Our young kids are learning, and we're finally going to be able to, like I said, get back to what we do. And I think the challenges that have kind of slowed us at times will slowly start working themselves out.
Yeah, the big part of that has been, like you said, injury, and it also has been we've lost, some receivers, we've lost players that we thought we were going to have for a period of time that have gone other routes and that sort of thing, and it does put a pressure on the next man up, so to speak, because you have another guy you got to move in behind him, another guy you got to move in behind him, and so a lot of that does take some adjustment. And speaking of adjustments, as coaches and as a unit coach, like the OC, I'm sure that y'all place goals at the beginning of the year. And I'm sure that you watch and you monitor those goals as the season goes along. And in district, those goals get a little bit more loftier too and get a little bit more important. Have y'all adjusted any of your goals, say the last 2 or 3 weeks?
I would say no. Our standard is our standard, and what we set, previously when we start the year, are our goals. And I think there may be a time and place to change, but I don't think we're necessarily there yet. But most importantly, our first goal every game is to score one more point than the opponent. And that doesn't matter if it's 14 or if it's 50. And so right now, that's the main goal we're focused on. And because we've been ourselves plenty of chances to win a game. You think back to the Comanche game when we were matching, we were back and forth. And we easily could have done that the other night if we don't have little things that set us back. So right now it's focus on goal number 1, which is figuring out no matter what happens on the other side of the ball, our job as an offense is to go score one more point than the opponent. And with all that, the other goals will come, right? Our rushing goals, our passing goals, taking care of the ball, which we've done really well. By the way, I would say one of our next biggest goals is taking care of the ball. And we haven't had many turnovers this year. Britton's done a great job of knowing when to run, when to get rid of the ball. And our ball carriers have done a great job protecting the ball. And so we're giving ourselves chances. It's figuring out how to focus on that goal number 1, like I said, and figuring out how, hey, we got to score one more point than our opponent.
Yeah. And the other side is the psyche of these players. And we talk about the youth, and I know Coach doesn't like to say youth and he doesn't like to say young, but I will say it, with these younger players, the psyche of the player itself sometimes can get beat up a little bit. And last week, no joke, it was ugly in the second half. And you think about what does that do to the psyche of these young players? Is that something this week that y'all have talked to them about and explained, hey, we beat Dublin and our record is 1-1 and it starts all over again. And we have a couple of more games after that. We just can control what's in front of us.
Exactly. And like you said, that's hard with youth. And we have really tried to focus on that. And we, with young kids and young players, it's hard for them to see the big picture sometimes. And so they are very much what has happened most recently. So their mindset is, hey, we didn't execute as well as we did against, or that we needed to against early. And that's the only thing they think about. Or we as coaches come in and say, hey, you know what? Pretty much the same bodies a few weeks ago in Comanche were just as young when you look at us in the second half. And we went out and 11 different guys caught a football and we threw it all around the field and we scored 30-something points. And so I think as young kids, that's the way we've been talking to them is like, you guys, we have the ability. And now it's just building that confidence. Like, hey, what happened last week is gone. Like you said, all that matters is this next week that's in front of us. We want to be 1-0 this week, put ourselves in the right positions. But it's reminding them about the good things they have done. Because that's the hardest thing for a young player is they harp on the negatives. And, you know, I've been there. I was a young player, and I know you always think about your mistakes more than you think about, you know, your success. And we got to just remind these kids, hey, you guys are very capable, and you have shown some really good things this year. So we need to hone in our success and let the negatives go, because if you hone in on the negatives, that's what's going to come. And so it's getting these kids in the right mindset, and that's 100% something we have talked to them this week about, and showing them like you have the ability, and so let's focus, let's be positive with our mindset instead of negative.
Now you're the OC, and I have in front of me. Now, of course, I have tons of people that send me questions, and they want me to solve problems all the time. I'm always solving them problems and stuff. This one was pretty easy. Now, some local sports team sent me this question and asked me if I would do this, and I said, absolutely. Well, I'm going to see what you say. All right, here you go. You ready?
All
All right, you have a field goal kicker. You're down 3 points in the fourth quarter. You have a very limited amount of time. This is probably the only possession you're going to get, right? You get the ball, and you actually have the ball on your their 47-yard line. And you have a field goal kicker that can probably kick about 70-yard field goal, okay? So here's the question.
Okay.
Do you throw 2 screen passes in the flats to a running back? Do you do that?
That would not be my first go-to.
No.
I
So
tell you
you're
that.
better. You are already better. I told them you're already better than the Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator or play caller, whoever that jerk is. That was crazy. What are they doing that for?
Well, I would agree with you on this, on the football side of things. I would also have to disagree because I'm not the biggest Cowboys fan. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it when they call, bad calls here and there.